Thank you, Miss Smith, for being a really good teacher.
Thank you, Mrs. Yen, for being a fantastic language arts teacher.
Thank you for being a fun teacher and making music fun.
Thank you, Mr. Hill, for being a great teacher and making history fun and enjoyable to learn.
Thank you, Miss Padre, for making reading fun.
Thank you, Miss Mace, for being the best.
Thank you, Mr. Mabry, for making me laugh.
Thank you, Miss Haworth, for being a great teacher and making learning fun.
Thank you, Miss Wyatt, for being such a fun and energetic teacher.
Thank you, Miss Sipes, for making me a better singer and realizing my dream.
Thank you, Miss Hurstberger, for giving me that Band-Aid that one time.
Thank you, Miss Searcy, for being an awesome teacher and teaching all the students well. And Mrs. Free.
Okay, thank you, Miss Dondo, for being a really good assistant principal and being funny and like my best friend. Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Butler, for treating me like the son you never had. Wait, you have 2 sons, don't you? My bad. Thanks anyway.
Thank you, Coach Stroll, for giving us the great workout every day.
Thank you, Miss Ann. You've been the best home-based teacher ever.
Thank you, Miss Weese, for being the best teacher. Let's do what we want and have fun.
Mr. Langdon is a good teacher because he shows a thumbs up or a thumbs down, showing to see if we're good on the lesson or if we're not, to go further.
He's pretty funny, really good at math, obviously.
Thank you, Mr. Showman, for always helping us with math.
Thank you, Miss Simons, for always helping me whenever I needed it.
Thank you, Mr. Potter, for not being bold. Thank you, Miss Aldridge, for always putting up with us.
Thank you, Mr. Hill, for always explaining everything thoroughly and being a really great teacher.
Thank you, Mr. Mabry, for being so cool about teaching us things and being laid back and making learning fun in a way.
Okay, I want to thank Miss Majors for being a new student teacher and for making math class fun.
Thank you, Mr. Showman, for keeping us alive but still having us have a fun.
I would like to nominate Miss Grimm because she makes math a lot of fun. But she also makes it where you can learn it at the same time and not have too much fun.
Thank you, Mr. London, for always believing in us.
Thank you, Mrs. Fadre, for always making class learning fun.
Thank you, Miss Majors and Miss Grimm, for always helping.
Thank you, Miss Tracy, for always being so nice.
I want to thank Mr. Coughlin because he always was, lenient, and he never got angry at the class, and he always gave you time to do stuff and really helped me out in social studies, and we took a lot of notes, so it was fun. Thank you, Mr. Coughlin.
Thank you, Mr. Mabry, for being a fun, awesome, and an understandable teacher.
Thank you, Mr. Shulman, for having us have good assignments every day, every time.
Yen, for being such a sarcastic teacher. It's been fun.
Thank you, Miss Patino, for always understanding. You are a really nice, fun, and amazing teacher. You teach us a lot of stuff that we will need in life. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Zucafus, for helping me.
Am I good? Thank you, Miss Butler, for not ignoring us in home base.
Thank you, Miss Schinneberger, for teaching me math.
Thank you, Miss Hill, for teaching me how to play the violin.
Thank you, Miss Patino, for giving me chances even though my grades weren't always awesome. So.
Thank you, Mr. Coughlin, for being a cool teacher and laughing all the time and being an old fart that nobody likes.
Thank you, Mr. Potter, for teaching me how to play my instrument.
Thank you, Mr. Mabel, for being a good teacher even though I don't like you. Hello?
Thank you, Mr. Coughlin, for being such an amazing teacher and for sponsoring my intramural.
Thank you, Dr. Todd, for keeping our school intact.
Thank you, Miss Kitchlow, for being a fantastic teacher.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for helping me in social studies and being a good basketball coach. Simons, thank you for being a good teacher.
Thank you, March Bank, for being a madman.
Seriously, you are a good teacher. Thank you, Ms. K, for being an awesome teacher and an outstanding teacher, too. We love you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan, for making funny jokes in science.
Usually for making learning fun.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper, for being lenient on work.
Thank you, Mrs. Reynolds, for being so nice.
Thank you, Miss Faith, for being so kind-hearted and sweet to everybody.
Thank you, Mrs. Wyrick, for being super awesome.
I'd like to thank Mr. Marsh for being one of the best teachers I know. He's really funny and gives you a lot of time to do your homework, and he has a really flexible schedule, so you can do what you want. And if you got free time, then yeah, you can just play around the computer. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
To thank the lunch ladies for making yummy snacks.
Thank you, Dr. Todd, for being a great principal.
Thank you, Miss Still, for making things fun.
Thanks for eating the donuts, Stephanie Macy.
Thank you, Mr. C, for always punching me in the arm.
Thank you, Mrs. Hill, for giving me a new perspective on music.
Thank you, Mr. Kitchell, for making math fun.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Mr. Jerry and all the custodians, because without them, we wouldn't be here because we'd all be sick, and they just take care of everybody, and thank you.
Thank you, Miss Haworth, for being the best teacher in the whole entire world. You are really funny, and I love spending time with you. Love you!
Thank you, Miss Jacob, for being the perfect combination of fun and learning.
Thank you, Miss Thompson, for being a nice and fun teacher. Thank you, Aldrin, for that one time gave me a Band-Aid and I had a cut on my finger.
Thanks, Miss Eber, for making home-based fun.
Thank you, Miss Jones, for giving me limited freedoms. And you're a really fun and cool teacher.